Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Namastu. What a great fortune, a great gift of grace that makes it possible for all of us to sing his Rama, a Sankirtan. But for his grace, how is it possible? Deep, deep, deep gratitude. We have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. We have been going through several stories now, one after the other, as told by Papa Ramdas and as read out to Bhagavan. And today we shall go through one more story which accentuates the point that God saves his devotee. There was a Sadhu Mahatma who was wandering around, and then finally he came down to a tree and began to sleep there under the tree, just as our Bhagwan used to do. Now when these great people come down to the earth as huge manifestation of the divinity, the supreme divinity, somehow even the negative forces get excited. It's like when the sun shines down, it's available to both the good vegetation and the bad. Now these negative forces would also play up their role in the scheme of things, as we have been seeing in the life histories of the great ones. Somehow a man developed enmity towards his Mahatma, so much so he wanted to kill him. So when he found this Mahatma fast asleep under the tree, he thought it was his chance. So he had a big knife, approached this sadhu, and then called out. He said, "Hey sadhu, you are a great devotee of God. Now let's see, I'm going to kill you. Let's see how your God saves you." All this prattle about God as Savior. Let's see what your God does. In mockery, he laughed and then he waved his knife before the sadhu. The sadhu, of course, woke up. That in itself is grace, because this man, he could have easily killed the Mahatma without giving out any sound at all. But then the killer, he wanted to mock at the sadhu because he was very sure he was going to kill him. But the sadhu, as soon as he caught up, he saw. In a fraction of a second, he laughed fearlessly and said, "Oh, you want to kill me? You think you can do it? My God is here, right next to me. Now He is going to kill you. Beware." So he spoke in a fearless, challenging tone, which at once put this killer enemy off. For a moment, he was astounded that this man could talk so fearlessly. And the way he talked, that God is next to him, God was next to him, ready to save him if anything should happen. Just for a fraction of a second, he hesitated because he was taken aback by the fearlessness of the sadhu. Now the sadhu made use of this moment. Quickly, he snatched the knife from this man and said, "Look, the whole situation is reversed now. I got the knife and you are defenseless. Now who is going to save you? See, my God saved me. He gave me a moment when I could snatch this from you. He made you careless for a fraction of a second, and see, the whole situation is reversed. Now, if I should put this knife into you, who is going to save you? You have no God." And he laughed. Now the enemy realized, this man, he realized how insecure he was, absolutely defenseless, and sadhu could do anything to him. And he believed that sadhu would kill him. So he began to beg the sadhu, "Please forgive me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." He began to beg, forgive me for what I did." But sadhu threw away the knife and laughed once again. "Do you really believe that I would kill you? But now you know how defenseless you were, whereas how my God saved me. A moment of alertness, and for you a moment of carelessness. This is grace. God can save His devotee in any way. Now give up, throw away your enmity, your knives, and learn mercy from God." He spoke not unkindly, and this moved this man further, and then he fell at his feet and said, "Forgive me for the stupidity. I would never again indulge in such actions." And then he became an ardent disciple of the sadhu. This is how Papa Ramdas ends his story. Now this story provoked Bhagwan to reminisce his own experiences. And of course, I also recall one or two. Let's see, I remember Mr. Will, the American, who came after the Samadhi of Bhagwan, who was here for a few days. At the time, he told me quite a few stories, the experiences he had with Bhagwan, and one of them was this, that one day Bhagwan was seated in the Chariot Mandap. It was midnight. They had some candles burning around, and Mr. Will was seated along with Bhagwan, and there was no one else. All of a sudden, in the silence of the midnight, suddenly they heard some loud noises. I think 4 or 5 drunkards. They came along and some of them had their bottles in hand. And one man had knife also. They came straight to the Chariot Mandap and stood before that. There is a staircase, several steps down, and they were on the ground. And in challenging tone, they were shouting and screaming. One of them said, "Hey, you call yourself a yogi? Let's see how much of a yogi you are." And then another one started to mock. So they were taking turns. They were blabbering something or the other, and so loudly, completely lost the drunkenness. They had absolutely no control over themselves. And it looked as though they would throw it any time at Bhagwan. Mr. Will was boiling inside. He quickly calculated how much of a risk it would be to go down and fight with those people. After all, they were drunkards. And then he realized he was alone and Swami wouldn't do anything. And 5 people, especially when they were drunk, they could prove to be a very strong man, and he could be the loser. So as he was thinking, Bhagwan began to smile. These people were still shouting and mocking at Bhagwan, and they were ready to do anything. But Bhagwan smiled, Yogi Ramsuratkumar smiled, and then said, "Mr. Will, MahaVishnu is here. You see, MahaVishnu is here. You see, Lord Shiva is there. She Hanumanji has come." And then he repeated, "See, MahaVishnu is there, Lord Shiva is there, Hanumanji has come." And all the time he was smiling. And we do not know what transpired between Bhagwan and those drunkards. Suddenly they screamed and they started to run away. Just as the sadhu did in the story. My God is here to protect me. You think you can kill me? My God is here to defend me. So Bhagwan said, Hanumanji is here, MahaVishnu is here. And they ran away. Mr. Will, who witnessed the whole scene, told me in wonder how Bhagwan handled the whole thing. I remember another incident in Sannidhi Street, when Bhagwan was seated in the veranda. It was about 12 o'clock, midday. That was midnight, this was midday. Once again, there was a man who was staggering because he was drunk, and he had a knife too. He came and stood there in front of Bhagwan's Sannidhi Street house and called out, almost screamed, saying, he used a very bad word to address Bhagwan, and then flashed his knife in the sunlight and said, if you have courage, if you are a true yogi, you come out, face me. I'm going to kill you. Now those of us who were seated there, you can imagine our plight. I was so scared and I held my breath because these drunkards can do anything. But you see what Bhagwan did? He just stood up in a jump and walked towards the gate. Now, I held my breath and I was praying so hard to Bhagwan himself, please don't go, stand there. But Bhagwan was handling him in his own way, in his inimitable way. He opened the gate. Again I forgot to breathe. We were all looking with such tension, but Bhagwan just draped himself across the threshold and just looked at him. This man was red with anger, with a knife that flashed in the sunlight, and he was speaking very harsh words, full of threats, and he would do anything, any moment. And here was Bhagwan just standing there, right on the high step, and looking on. That's all he did. But again, we did not know what transpired. The next moment, the drunkard threw his knife away. He screamed and then began to run away. He was running as though the very devil was after him. He was running for his life. But Bhagwan, he raised his hand in benediction and was blessing him until he disappeared out of sight. So our Bhagwan is always there to protect us. At this point I remember the story of Srimati Vidya Akka, who was a Ramana devotee who used to work in Ramana Ashram but also would come to see Bhagwan and was chanting Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Now one day when she arrived late in Tiruvannamalai, in those days, say about 20-25 years back, she arrived late at the Tiruvannamalai bus stand and then took an auto. Her house was near Ramanashram. Now as the auto man was proceeding, suddenly he began to take a side lane and was off the main road. And Vidya Akka found the whole place lonely, with tall trees on either side, and there was nobody in sight, and this was a narrow lane. It looked like a forest. She knew that this man had design on her, and she was scared stiff. And then she started to chant, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please save me. And just at that moment, she was afraid even to chant loudly, lest this man should do something. But then, strangely, this auto driver screamed and then took a U-turn to the main road and dropped her at her house within next 10 minutes. But he was still trembling. Noticing that, Vidya Akka asked him, what happened? You were taking me somewhere and then you screamed and you took a U-turn and you were still trembling. What happened? The auto driver said, I was taking you to a lonely spot because I had a bad design on you, but then this old man was standing there right in the middle of the road with an iron rod, and there was fire in his eyes. I got the fright of my life, and that's why I screamed. Who is this old man? How is he related to you? Why was he there at that time? What could Vidya Akka say except cry? So you see, Bhagwan is there all the time. The minute we call out his name, he would say, my father would rush help to you. It's not just helping, but it's rushing to help. So let's remember, Nama and Nami are one and the same, and the minute you call out the name, Bhagwan is instantly present with us and ready to give help, guidance and protection. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, for that's all we know to do. And we beg a million times for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to today's world, where there is so much violence everywhere. There is growing enmity between people and people. There is disharmony, disorder, and indiscipline. People live any way they like and create a philosophy of their own to suit themselves, to justify it. There is already the war that's going on between the two countries with its devastating results. And that's again those terrible diseases that attack us all of a sudden, unawares. And the furies of nature like flash flood, forest fire, and the earthquakes and whatnot. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again to stop the war immediately so that peace be prevalent there. And there should be no talk of war at all between countries anymore, all by your grace. And Bhagwan, please bring in peace, harmony, order and discipline into today's world. We also beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world as it is. We also beg you again and again to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world. People of different countries, of different languages, of different religions, caught by a previous bad karma and now in great anguish, unable to get help or protection. We beg you to reach out to them and do the needful. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of other people. Please protect them from unworthy, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We beg you to give a boost to our economy and promote growth in varied fields of activity. So that India would reach that high status of world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. We also pray to you in all sincerity and earnestness for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your powerful name, an unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings, so that we assimilate it and make them into our Atma Shakti. Bhagwan, please bless us all to be sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic instruments. We also beg you to bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We beg you to reach out to us, to bestow upon us that grace which would give us the ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace. But then we know that we need to be purified, that our mind is full of negative feelings. There is so much killer fear, poisonous anger, jealousy, passion, and sorrow leading to depressions and growing desires for worldly possessions. Bhagwan, as you have announced again and again, as you have declared, the most powerful weapon to destroy our past karmas as well as the residual vasanas inside us is your Nama, ceaseless and joyful chanting of it. So we take refuge in your Nama, in your powerful Nama, and wherever we are in the world, whatever work falls upon us, we know that it's all your work. So please bless us to do it as seva to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that all this would become Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow, coming from you, the source. It can only be a great blessing because it would push us towards you. Even as we go through the bad karmic effects, God puts a blessing also in it, and the blessing would see to it that we don't move away from God, and then we get closer to God instead. Bhagavan, please bless us to be able to feel your vibrant presence everywhere and in everything. Also bestow upon us that grace which would make us realize that it is your sankalpa, your will, that's behind all the happenings of life. When we are affected very badly by some past karma, we collapse, we become bitter and cynical. We resent you and your grace, and we put the blame on all other people for our own failures. We try to move away from you, but you, out of compassion and generosity, would convert all our adversities into great blessings, especially for those of us who chant your name and do your seva. Please bless us to be grateful to you, even for the sufferings of life. We beg you for your powerful blessings to reach out to all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. We seek liberation from the tyranny of the ego, the I and mine, the utter selfishness in which we live. Please bless us with Atma Bhava and remove from us the Aham Bhava. Please bless us with that immortal life, that eternal living, and eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme Brahman. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.